Let's just double check that we are still recording. Oh, right, good morning. Episode 3. Is it episode 3? I think it's episode 3. We're going to go to the unit and do the Polo. Been to the unit a few times, but not to do the Polo because I've just been mowed out with work, which is good. I suppose it's very good. I didn't expect myself to be as busy as I am, so oh well, that's a good thing. I'm busy, which is good. But the Polos have been on the back burner a little bit, so I'm going to go there today. I've got more tools with me, so hopefully I will not come stuck again and I'll be able to keep plodding on. I think the next step is I'm going to get the intake mani off, drain the coolant, intake mani off, and then we'll head on to the turbo and do all them bits and bobs. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. Hopefully today I have enough equipment to actually remove the cylinder head, and then once I've removed the cylinder I can actually proceed on with getting it all refurbished, because I reckon it's done every single valve, this thing. I reckon it's done them all, hence why it's pissing out. So yeah, we're on our way, and yeah, I'll show you what we're up to when we get there. Oh, it's cold though. It's cold for April. Is April cold? I don't know if April's cold, but yeah, we're on our way. It's good. Okay, so let's get this cylinder head off. So I need to drain the coolant, which is what I'm currently trying to do. So I've got my current coolant pliers with me, which is what I've been missing. That'll do, won't it? It's not too bad. Release the cap and see what happens. It's going kind of smoothly-ish, isn't it? Okay. I think I should undo the other coolant holes. So let's undo the other one. That one up there. Once this has done its thing. Oh, it's actually draining quite nicely. I'm going to leave that as is. Yeah, that'll do for the time being. I'm going to start getting this intake manifold off then. Yeah, quite chuffed with how that didn't do anything dramatic. So yeah, next step, let's get the intake manifold off, get this bottle out, and go from there. Yeah, that'll do. That's a good idea. Well done. Right, so what I like to do when I'm doing engine builds stuff like that is I try and remove everything in one go. So that coolant pipe went there. This coolant drain, feed or drain, whatever it is. I'm just trying to take off everything in one fell swoop. So this thing goes down to the front, down to that pipe, all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to try and remove that. It's one go. I'm going to try and remove everything. I want all this coolant lines to be gone in one big job lot, because the more you take off in one go, the less confusing it gets. So that's my plan. Get all these coolant lines out of the way, and then frees up a lot of space and a lot of complication as well. So that's the next step. Good. Okay, so I got pretty much every coolant pipe on the whole vehicle off in one foul swoop, which is fantastic. The good thing is with stuff doing this way is a good reference point is that plastic bit which goes to the side of the sump. That's the bottom of the radiator, that's your bottle, that's your turbo bits, that's top brad. You know, super simple. Take it all off as much as you can in one go, and you're left with something which is quite easy to figure out instead of having to break down pipe after pipe after pipe. And the reason I've done that is obviously I'm working on the floor, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And two, look at all the room I've got now. I've just gained so much room to actually see what I'm doing, because I've never done this before. So what I'm going to do now is obviously, intake manifold looks like it will literally sneeze off now because I've got so much stuff out of the way. So that's the plan, is to get the intake manifold off. I've got coolant everywhere. I've tried to capture as much as I can, which is never actually possible, is it? But it is what it is. We're doing all right. Okay, so intake manifold / intercooler is off. See, look at that now. Like, why wouldn't you remove them coolant hoses and just whip off the manifold? It's a no-brainer. So we can see what we're doing now, especially to the side. What the plan is to now try and get the turbocharger off. Once we get the turbocharger off, is then to maybe attack the thermostat housing. And we're getting on, we're moving actually, we're doing quite well. I'll shove some tissue down there because I don't want any schmutz going in there. Although it doesn't really matter, does it? Holy shit, you can see how bent the valves are. Wow, one sec, can you see in there? Hello. Oh my God, they are so bent. Look at how open that is. Wow, that's my fault. Okay, so heat shield off. There's a bit of a struggle, I think, because I took the engine mounts off and stuff like that. The engine's rocked forward a bit. Because it's rocked forward, it's caused it to be a bit closer to the radiator cowl than I'd liked. So what I've done is I've undone the alternator bolts, pried the alternator forward a little bit off its mount. So it's still on there, but I've just prized it forward a little bit. And what that has allowed me to do is slide the heat shield out. I also undid the alternator plug. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to undo these 4 dump pipes, bolts. I'm going to try and get this dump pipe out completely. Let's get that completely out of the way, and then just see how that works. Let's go. So yeah, they've all cracked off quite nicely actually. I'm still just using my Halford set, which is just one of the best things I've bought in a long time. I'd highly recommend it, and trying to undo bolts one-handed is near impossible, but oh God, it's weird. This vehicle's coming apart quite easy, which is this could be a worry depending on how you look at it. Depends on how you look at it. If you look at it as if the fact that has this thing been out before, oh bollocks, the studs have come out with it. That's fine. I'm never too worried when that happens. If that happens on all 4, it'll actually give us more room to slide the dump pipe out. But yeah, I'm never too concerned when the nuts stay with the thread, because as you tighten that up, it'll just snip down anyway. As long as you torque it to spec, it'll be fine. The thread will go all the way back into the turbo, and the nuts will just clamp like we should do. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I haven't had a look underneath yet of how it actually comes apart up the bottom, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. I'm going to get these out. If this thread comes out, if all 4 threads come out, I'm going to leave one in a few threads, just so then the dump pipe don't fall on my head when I do undo it from the bottom. Okay, so I'm giggling under here because I'm having a look now, and basically you got the dump pipe bolts, and then it goes to them mounting bolts, these 2, one on either side, and then it's an exhaust hanger, and then it's another exhaust hanger, then it's the centre clamp all the way at the back. So I'm going to have to pray to God I can get that centre pipe clamp off, because they are notorious for being a twat. So get that centre pipe off, get these exhaust hangers off, and go from there. I'm just going to crack, I'm going to get that one out, I'm going to leave that one half in. Actually no, I've got one up on top. I'm just going to undo it all. I don't have my exhaust clamp pliers, exhaust hanger pliers, which would have been ideal, but yeah, I never think this far ahead. Like, how I thought there would be a bolted flange somewhere here or so, but there isn't. So, oh well. At least it'll make the sump gasket sealer very, very easy. What a pain in the ass. We'll get on it. Let's get on it. Tell you what, I'm semi-worried because this centre sleeve was just loose, not even on. It keeps making me wonder if someone had this off. Someone had the head off and gone, that's so fucked. Let's just build it back up. Although they built it back up with every single bolt to like what felt like the correct torque. I don't know, just gotta keep pushing. Let's try and get these exhaust mounts off and just keep going. What the fuck? Weird. Okay, so worry number 2 is a snapped stud in the head for the exhaust turbocharger. So the turbocharger has a snapped stud in there, so I'm like, motherfucker. So whoever rebuilds my head, I'm gonna have to get them to drill out that as well. But look at the engine bay. Look at how teeny tiny this engine is. It's so small. So we're getting very good progress now. I'm gonna whip this camshaft out, Japons, and then after that, keep going. But we're doing good. Turbocharger is here. It must have had the turbo off in the past. The turbo has clearly been off, or that wouldn't have just snapped. They don't snap like that. They do not just snap like that. So maybe IHI turbo. That's not a genuine turbo, is it? I don't think it is. No, it can't be genuine. Bollocks. I'll have to see if this turbo's in good condition. Do a thorough investigation of the turbocharger before we put it back on. Okay, so cam cover's off, but the cam cover is actually part of the camshaft. So let's have a look. Doesn't look like there's excessive wear on those. They're a bit worn, but I don't think I would be. Nothing too worried about it. There's nothing with my fingernail. Yeah, seems okay. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. A bit nervous now. Starting to get very nervous. Right, so I've actually slid the alternator out through where the turbo goes. You know, obviously through this section here because it's all dismantled. So that was very easy, and that just allows me now to get this one bolt out of this bracket here. Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna take the whole oil cooler assembly off because it's pretty much ready to come off. So I'll undo all that, and then my thermostat, and then I'm ready. I think I'm ready. It'll be coming off then, and then we can see how fucked it is, which I'm not very looking forward to. Okay, so we skipped ahead a bit. Thermostat is off and wiggling. I'm thinking I'm going to take the water pump out and actually slide this pipe out so I can change the O-ring, because last thing I want is to build it all up and have a coolant leak. So once the head's off, I think I'm going to remove the water pump, slide that tube out, and then I can actually change the gasket properly on both pipes. But at the moment, the bolts are currently pretty loose, so we're getting to that point now where they're looking good. So I'm just going to get my buzz, now they're all loose, I'm going to get my buzz gun out and just wind them out. The cylinder head has been removed, so we can see that every single intake valve has been bent. Unsure about the exhaust valves, but the intake valves are all completely bent. Can you see? All four gone, which is inevitable from what we heard when we put a timing chain on it. Every single piston has got a dent in them. So I need to just figure out how bad it is and what we need to do from there. Yeah, so that's another thing I need to try and investigate. So, quick one. I think we're going to get away with this piston situation. I've cleaned up one of the pistons. I haven't turned the engine off. I've literally got to go in 10 minutes. I'm not setting off home in 10 minutes. I'm gonna be in trouble. So I've took the heads off. All four intake valves are gone, so they're all bent. So I thought, shit, the pistons, let's have a look at the pistons. So let's have a look at the pistons. Now I've cleaned one up, and you can see it's left a ever so slight imprint on the piston. I haven't cleaned them up with like a wire brush and stuff yet, but that will be next time I come. But I think I'm gonna get away with it. So what I need to do is basically cover this up for the time being, get this covered up and forget about it for a few days. Come back, clean this mating surface up, get the spark plugs out, get the injectors out, and then take my head away for refurbishment. And that is it for today. We'll just call it quits. Part 3 done, finito. Pretty happy with progress. Took me about 3 hours to get that head off, so not bad.